Well, first off, I think the most important reason we're doing this dinner is so that people know that their food had life. For a long time, I've always had a saying, and it's know your food. Know where it's coming from, know that it was a living being, even if it was a piece of lettuce that at one point was living. We made it a point to come and meet the pigs before they went out to the processor, and that was really important to me to look that animal in the eye and know that, you know, I'm responsible for you now. You know, we kill things and eat them. That's what we do as humans, but we can do it respectfully and responsibly.
Hogs have been here about 20 years now. Ossabaw hogs from Ossabaw Island, dropped off by the Spanish long ago. We have some that are direct line descendants from on the island. The hogs that we would have had here in like 1836 no longer exist. A lot of those are extinct. And so this would have been one of the closest breeds, most similar breeds to what we would have had here originally. Here on a daily basis, we're caring for the animals' every need, right? So they're fed and there's always water. We're making sure that they're safe and that their environment is healthy for them. In 1836, for sure, the hogs would have been out back in the woods, foraging on their own. They're very much enjoying that today. Considered a heritage breed for us. There's less than 500 of them in the world, so we're real fortunate to have them here. But it's also super important for them to have a purpose. If we have no purpose other than just to keep the hogs, you can only have so many pets, right? That's not what we're raising here. Livestock needs to have a purpose. One way to save them is to eat them. Part of why we're so excited about the Heritage Breeds dinner is because it's giving them purpose. We're getting the food out there, the meat out there to be tested and tried and enjoyed. They're very slow growing, a little more fat to their meat, but then that's what makes the meat so good. That's what makes it so favorable and so delicious, right? I think that's a lot of what Conner Prairie stands for. It's not always a bigger and faster is better all the time, right? You lose some of the extra value, I think, when that's your main purpose.
We're really doing a nose-to-tail dinner where we're utilizing every usable piece of that pig, including the hooves and the skin as much as we can, and even the tail will be a part of that dinner as well. It was a whole animal and not just a cut of meat that was packaged in plastic wrap coming from the store.
know from our first conversation, there was a real understanding and simpatico about it is important to respect the chain of life and the labor of what is set down before you, and not just the cooking, but the raising of that animal, where it comes from, how it's been treated. And the commercially bred pig has been bred to be bigger and give you those big tenderloins and give you that big, thick pork belly, as opposed to a heritage breed animal that, like, to be honest, tastes really good.
Incredible. Right? And if you could see the pale pink color of a commercially raised pig compared to the bright purple color of the meat of a Ossabaw or heritage breed, it's incredible. And the marbling and the fat cap and all of that, it's just makes for such a better experience in eating.
You know, there's a reason that we love pork in America. And part of it was just because pork's easy to raise and it was available, but also because it tasted good. And I think the farther we move into highlighting the desire for mass consumption, the farther away we get from like what made that thing important or good in the first place. What allows us to be mass consumers is that disconnect from what we're consuming, right? The end product is king, process is out the window. And the more that we are aware and mindful of the process, the better we'll be in the long run. So spring beans all gone, all the flowers are gone. So my car's gonna smell like onions for a long time. Got you some spruce tips. And then Creep and Charlie in here.
You know, from the community standpoint here, I think it's important to let people know that Conner Prairie exists and there are really cool natural things being raised here, and letting it go wild and letting it continue to come back.
More concentrated.
Yeah. So
that,
I mean,
that could be super fun in a salad.
Yeah, and they're it's a beautiful color. Like where do you see that color in food? You know?
No, not really.
I grew up as a little kid that food was still somewhat seasonal. You didn't have strawberries in the wintertime because that's not when they grew. You didn't have watermelon. You didn't have tomatoes year round. We've gotten away from that.
Or
it's
like
not
leading
nostalgia.
up to that craving, right? Like you know summer's coming and you know strawberries are coming. You know in the fall, like the apples are going to be ready and you can't wait.
And how much more special it is when you know it's like I get it for this window of time, right? And then I have to wait.
You shouldn't have asparagus on your menu all year long.
Right, because it tastes like crap.
Right.
When you don't have it
and I mean, think about the footprint it's taking to come from Peru all the way across the ocean, leaving a big carbon footprint to get to us, and it's just not right.
That's good.
Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Good, citrusy.
A little bit of a punch.
Bright, like surprising flavor from such a little leaf.
Wow.
I do feel like there is a loss of appreciation that people have for the food that they're eating in the moment. It's just a sense of like consumption. It can taste good, right? But there's not a lot of consideration necessarily to it. I wish that we all took the time to be more considerate, and that people who make food took the time to be considerate in that way, and that it was more of the really amazing, beautiful experience that eating good food can be.
Once once that dish goes out, strudels will start cooking downstairs. I want to say we'll start at 8 minutes, see where that time goes, and then that dish will also bring up the pork loins up here. It's like shrimp carnitas. We don't want it just to be about the food, about 9th Street Bistro or Connor Prairie. Let's work with Noble Coffee down the street to incorporate their coffee ingredient into one of the dishes. Let's use one of our foragers to see what they can bring us. That's a local person that's not just bringing in truckloads. Let's get Jeff Davis involved, who's the printmaker, to have him make our placemats and menus.
A lot of fun. I hope you guys are excited, prepared for the 9 courses that you're about to enjoy.
So thank you, everybody. Enjoy. Just have fun. Get to know your neighbors. Okay? Thanks, everybody.
I took all the meat off the ribs, shredded it all up, and then made it nice and crispy in the oven.
You know, whether you recognize it or not, you're cooking in the sort of shadow of your ancestors for whom utility was really important. You didn't throw away a hog's head. Make head cheese, right? Because there's a lot of good usable meat and a lot of good usable protein and collagen and all that kind of stuff. You use all of it because it's there and it's available, and otherwise it's waste.
This dinner is important to us because it does give us a connection with the community. The hogs in general, they do have value. It's not something that should go extinct. It's not something that we should just pass off for something new and improved, right? This is good. This is improved.
That's what's so important about why we're doing this dinner. And it's not just about the food. It's not just about bringing awareness to heritage breeds, but it's about bringing our community together and everybody working together.